Hello everyone. Welcome to Reboot and Rise with MLR. Before diving to Java programming, let's start with some basics on understanding computers, hardware, software, network, translators, programming. Okay? These concepts form the foundation of everything we do in software development. So let's begin with the most fundamental question. What is computer? Right? A computer is an electronic device that processes the data and performs the task based on the instructions or input we provide. Either it is a PC, laptop, mobile, or high end server machines. All these electronic devices act as a digital assistant in our daily life. Think about our daily life. How often do we use a computer? Many, right? Example, typing a document for writing reports or assignments, browsing internet for searching some information, watching videos for entertainment or education tutorials, playing games from simple puzzles to high end impressive games, sending email to stay connected with friends or family or work. In short, I would say like many more. In short, computers helps us work smarter, stay informed, and connect with the world effortlessly, right? But have you ever thought about what makes a computer work, right? Let's explore its core component. So the computer has mainly two components. One is hardware, the other one is software. So the hardware is the physical component where the tangible parts that computer that we can see and touch. Example, CPU, the central processing unit, and we call it as the brain that process all the instructions in the computer. RAM, random access memory. It's a temporary memory that helps our applications run faster. Storage, HDD and SSD. It stores the data or files permanently. Input devices, the tools like a keyboard, mouse, touch screens, where we give commands or instruction to the computer. The output devices, the components like a monitors, speakers, and the printers that actually displays the results. These are the example for hardware components that we can see and touch. And software, it's a group of computer programs that I will cover later in this video. Now, now that we understand the hardware and software, let's look how computer functions. So the computer operates through four basic steps. So we give input to the computer by typing or by clicking. So the computer or the CPU takes the request and process those instructions, stores the data temporarily in RAM or permanently in storage device, and send the output. I mean, the result will be displayed on the screen or played through speaker or printer. So, what happens when multiple computers to communicate and share the resources or share the information across, right? So that's where the networks come into picture. What is a network? A network is a connection of computers that enables them to communicate and share the data or share the resources efficiently. Assume like if we don't have a network, we cannot send any emails or we cannot share any files, right? So there are two types of networks majorly. One is local area network, other one is wider area network. So the local area network is something like a small network within a home or office or school where the computers connecting each other. The wide area network, a large scale networking covering like the computers from across the cities or even across the globe. So in order to establish this network, what do we need? So basically like we need majorly three things. One is hardware, I mean the physical devices like routers, switches, cables, of course the computers. Software, we need some software programs that help computer to communicate. And there are some rules to follow, like when to send data, when to receive the data, what type of data to send, what type of data to receive, and then few other protocols like HTTP, TCP, IP. So all these rules are nothing but protocols that each computer to follow if they want to be in network. Now, within the network, I mean, like there are two key players. One is client, other one is server. So what is a client? What is a server? So client, again, like client and server both are computers. One computer that send a request asking for some service. The other computer take that request, process that request, send the response back. So the computer that send a request is called as client mission. The computer that takes the request, process the request, and send the response back to a client computer called as server. Example, if you are placing a Amazon order using your PC or mobile, I mean, that's where like you select item, pay the amount, and send the request, right? So that case, like your computer or your mobile is a client request. From the other end, the Amazon server sits somewhere in the world, take take the request, process the request, and send the response back saying like your order is successfully placed. That case, the Amazon computer is nothing but a server machine. Okay. So now with the, now we have covered the hardware, networks, and communication, how it happens between the computers, right? Let's talk about the software. So what is a software? Software is a group of computer programs that tells what the computer to do, right? So in short, like I can say, hardware is the body in the computer, whereas software is the mind that controls the hardware. So there are two types of software. One is operating system. It is the core software that manages everything in the computer. Examples like we have Windows, Linux, Mac OS. The other type of softwares are applications. That's like the programs that helps to perform tasks like example Chrome, Word, Zoom. And other examples like in your Android or iOS where you have a YouTube, WhatsApp, and some other things, right? So how do these software works, right? So as I mentioned, like a software is a group of programs. That means like group of computer program. Then what does a computer program mean, right? So a computer program is set of instructions. So it contains set of instructions like instruction 1, instruction 2, instruction 3, something like set of instructions. And it tells like what task to perform on the computer. So when I say like instruction, so we need to write these instructions. So in order to write these instructions, we need a language. So using language, we write these instructions. What kind of language we need? Since this is a computer program, I need a computer programming language or I need a programming language. Okay, let's talk about programming language. So programming language is a language that allows to write instructions in the computer program, right? There are a lot of languages available in the market like C, C++, Java, Python. So using these languages, we write computer program. That means within that we write instructions. Okay. And these instructions has to be run on the computer. That is nothing but CPU. So you write these instructions in the computer program and then you run on this CPU. But remember, the CPU or this computer that has a CPU doesn't understand your language, that is C, C++, Java. The instructions that you have written in C, C++, no, this doesn't understand. It understands only one language called as binary language. That is zeros and ones. So you have written the instructions. We call it as a source code. We call it as a source code. And these instructions has to be run on the CPU, which doesn't understand binary code. So what do we need? We need to translate these instructions into this language. That's where we need something called as translators. Okay. So what is a translator? So translator is again a software that reads the instructions in the source code or in the computer program and convert into or translate it into binary language or machine level language. So there are three main types of translators: interpreter and compiler and then assembler. Compiler and assembler. So basically this interpreter reads the source code or instruction from the computer program line by line at once and translate it. Whereas compiler reads all lines at once and translate. And assembler generally like this is used to translate the assembly level language instructions. But the fun fact is Java uses both interpreter and compiler. So I'll talk about this one when we talk about the JVM internals in depth. Okay. So in summary, in this video, like we have talked about computer, it's an electronic device that processes the data and performs the task. And it has two components, hardware and software. Hardware is nothing but a physical components. Software is nothing but a group of computer programs and how the network happens. And software, and then we have seen like what is a computer program. So we write instructions within the computer program. And then in order to write computer program, we need a programming language like C, C++, Java. And our computer, that is the CPU, doesn't understand any programming language instructions. So it understands only binary language, that is zeros and ones. So we need to translate the source code or the instructions that we have written in C, C++, Java, in any programming language has to be translated into zeros and ones. So for that one, we need a translator, right? So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep coding. Thank you.